Kensington, Philadelphia. Hotbed for poverty, crime, and drugs. One of Philly's most dangerous and notorious communities. With so much holding the young men of this neighborhood down, it's often hard to escape the urban jungle around them. But one man, in his vision of Friday Night Lights under the L, has given the kids of Kensington a new chance to succeed, to rise above their doubters. This is Rise of the Tigers. It's a crisp autumn afternoon as the Kensington Tigers take the field for practice. But as their cleats beat down into the hard and rocky soil, history lies settled beneath them. Before the construction of the new Kensington Creative and Performing Arts School building and the establishment of the football program, this site was long abandoned. Once a part of the Kensington Depot of the Philadelphia and Trenton Railways that allowed the area to thrive through the transportation of the goods, the station had since become reclaimed by Mother Nature. As the grass and weeds grew, the area fell into a haven for those who wanted to be hidden.
So over here, it was a wasteland. You're talking about years and years and years ago, there was a train tracks back there. There was all sorts of different things happening over there, and that all went to the wayside. But what happened was it just became overgrown with weed trees. The Berks L station right here is one of the nastiest L stations in the city. You could smell urine from a block away. Prostitutes walking up and down the street, and that's what it was. That up here where our field's at, that was where you would have the prostitutes take their johns. Freddie Adams was a young man that grew up in Fishtown. He hung at the Fishtown Rec, had a lot of friends. He was an older guy. He was like 17 years old. I was around 13 years old, so I wasn't part of his crew. But he was an older guy, so we all looked up to the older guys around here. And I wasn't there that night. I don't know. But the story is that he got basically he was beat to death with a PGW sign, and it happened right between our front doors and our field, right around that area right there, right near the L. And that was when I was young, and Freddie cut my hair a couple times, and there's a sports tournament every year still in his honor at the rec. It's actually there's a mural of Freddie Adams at the Fishtown Rec.
Once the Kappa building was built and the football team established, the field had to be taken care of to a certain extent.
When they redid the school, they pushed all the debris up that way. So our field is rock hard, and that's why it's uneven too. It's on slope, it's slopey, and we've pulled some interesting things out of this field, just to keep it safe for our players. And we actually added, I think it was about almost $350 or $400 in just dirt, just to cover some of the more areas, and just to make it safe for the kids to play on. But it still needs so much work. You're talking about there's just slopes, and kids are twisting ankles over the place, and these kids are scraping their arms on rocks and glass, and often we walk across the field, and every time it rains, more comes up. So we always try to get them off the bigger ones, and always locate the areas that are problematic and try to cover them with dirt.
But despite the rocks, cuts, and scrapes, the kids of Kensington football embrace their home turf and admit that the field's rough edges have helped sculpt them into tougher men.
It's hard when you get tackled. I got a couple cuts on my arm back here earlier today, and it's hard out there. But I like it out there though, because everybody see us practicing in our neighborhood. They be like our neighborhood school, so I like practicing out there.
Man, you fall on rocks, dirt, everything. It just hurts when you fall. It's something to get used to. It just needs to be fixed or repaired or something, seriously, because it's too many rocks and it's just hard ground. But it's still funny to play on. It's so funny.
It's for one, other teams they can have all that rich fancy playing on turf or whatever, but like we're at Kensington, like we're playing on hard rock. That lets us know where we're coming from. Like when we play on rock, that lets us know. Like as soon as we get to turf, like it's right there. It's what we there for. Like we were playing on rock, so like we let them know, like we're rock hard. Like we play just as hard as you play, and if not, we play stronger.
Once the field was practice ready, Erb set his sights to new heights, the giant wall overlooking his Tigers domain.
The wall in the past was just an empty wall, which was covered in graffiti. And at one point before we painted it last year, it actually said, "Smoke, dust, kill cops," written on it, large, so enough for you could read it from the street. And it's so I like to use Photoshop. So one of my things is just to put ideas out there. And I designed that wall in Photoshop, and I showed it to my father, and I was like, "Can we make this happen?" And of course, my father comes up with this ingenious idea of how to do it. So the first step was we got the masonite board in my father's yard over the summer. We laid it out, and then we drew the letters on, and then we got a router, and we just start routing out the part for the yellow, and and each letter was 2 pieces of masonite board, so we had to like cut them in half, and there's a lot of different angles and a lot of different different moves and stuff like that. And so once that was done, that was a very time-consuming process, the routing of the letters and making sure they were perfect, because that's what we're using as our templates to draw it on the wall. And we traced each letter on the wall with Sharpie markers, and then all around all the little intricacies of these varsity letters, and after that was all done, that was when we had scaffold set up on the whole wall at that point, because we wanted to get all the letters up traced first. And then after that was done, that was when we moved back to our respective houses, and start just bringing 4 pieces of scaffold over a day and working on each letter, like 1 letter a day. Like I would do a letter, he would do a letter. And the wall is so rough that we thought that maybe we can roll it. not a shot, because when you roll it, you're missing. It was like 65% of it wasn't getting touched. So what we end up having to do is use actual small paintbrushes to get in there with get all the little holes and cracks and everything else. But yeah, it was it was one of the best experiences of my life working with my father to get that done. And just seeing his skill set in action is always something special to me.
Erb sees this new wall as a symbol for his players and all children in the community to look up to and feel inspired by.
It's great for the kids that are playing now. It gives them a sense of ownership of the team, of the spot, and that's all well and good. But ultimately, I think what it does is for the younger kids that walk by it and see these older guys playing, it puts it in their mind that I want to play Kensington football.
The players understand the value of the wall and the message it bears, as well as realize that their coach painted that mural with his own hands and with his team in his mind and heart.
When we first started, it was just a plain wall, and there was all this trash underneath it. It looked at that, it was like it was like us practicing, looking at a concrete wall. But coach took days, he even slept over outside. He made that little camp to make it for us. So I appreciate that from him, because he spent that time to make us look like comfortable a little bit more out there. He even fixed the field a little bit for us. So yeah, I really appreciate that from Coach Erb.
Man, it fills up with spirit. It gives you spirit hope. It's something you feel inside when you out there. You put your helmet on, you look out to the side, you see at Kensington. You look to the side, you see people stopping in the gate, looking at you practice. You feel like I'm making an impact in this football team and in the school. And when I ride by, like the coach said, I'm gonna ride by when I'm 30, probably 25 years old, when I'm in college, finish college, my own business. And I'm coming and be like, I play for that team. I helped start that team.
When it wasn't like that, people just used to come and graffiti on it and like do all kinds of crazy pictures on it. But now that they see Kensington, it's like they don't even go near the wall. It's like they show respect. So it's like the community respect us now for what we're doing. Like we're making history out here.
But practice isn't always about getting down to business and learning X's and O's. It's also about fun and expressing yourself, For example, 3 members of the Tigers linebacker corps all have glowing personalities that shine both on and off the fields. Linebacker Christian McNasty Cruz likes to make it nasty with aggressive pursuit of the opponent. The team joker, McNasty uses his humor to maintain positive morale, and his distinct sense of community pride is emboldened by the progress going on around him.
It's like a nickname I got since I was like in middle school, because all the time I got hurt or something, I never told coach, and I just kept playing even harder. Like it actually like encouraged me to play better. So I just call myself that. Like I don't know, like it comes back from middle school days. Like people that do something wrong, like they get down, and I don't like seeing my team down. So it's like I be silly and I dance around, goof off. Like I play jokes on them and everything, so they can like stay happy, stay positive, and don't have bad communication in the field. Even when I graduate from here, I'm gonna be out there and I'm gonna be trying to like pump these little kids up so they can get hard and they can make nasty like me.
Chris McNasty, or Christian Cruz. Christian Cruz, I've seen Christian for 4 years of high school, or I'm sorry, 3 years of high school. He's a junior this year. And Christian is, he's had some problems, you know, with his behavior in school over the last couple of years. Just getting into fights and just, you know, he has issues when it comes to authority, which a lot of our kids do because, you know, where we're from, you know, and but now, like with the football now, Christian is, like today, for example, today in school, we had a fight in the hallway. And I got Christian's eyes, and I said, Christian, I need your help. And right away, Christian started getting kids away from the, you know, helping out the school, you know, diffuse a conflict, where in years past, he might have been in one fight, you know, but Christian now, but that kid is hilarious. And like, I've been telling him that Braid, that whatever he has going on down there, I'm going to see Braids on that thing. But
the defensive powerhouse, Lorenzo DeFreak Banks, is just returning to the team due to clerical issues that had him declared ineligible to play. Because of that, DeFreak was noticeably absent last week, but his return has been welcomed. This future leader produces results.
I hit hard, I'm super fast, and it's just I can't be blocked by anyone at all. And I get back there so fast. Like one time, like I just went like one game where somebody just timed how fast it takes me to get to the quarterback. Me and myself personally, I would think it only took me about like a good 3 to 4 seconds to get back there. But it's nothing I can't do.
Lorenzo, what an intelligent young man. Like Lorenzo, you know, he very impressive from what he has to deal with on a daily basis personally. But he almost couldn't play for us this year because he came from a school last year that didn't keep track of his attendance at the end of the year, and he was ineligible. But luckily, we were able to work through that by talking to the school, and his mother contacted the school, and you know, and when I told him that he was in attendance ineligible, he gave me his pads right away. He said, "Coach, I understand. Like, he's a fine young man, and." He's going to be nasty coming out in a couple of years. I'm telling you, this offseason coming up, he's going to be working out. He's going to get bigger and stronger. And if you watch that game tape, he's in the back of that line almost every play. You know, just busting through that line. And he has a heart the size of a lion, that kid.
Puerto Rico native Melwin Santiago is the field general of the Tigers' physical defense. This tough-as-nails senior brings a presence onto the field that is intimidating, and his personal story is inspiring.
Originally born in Puerto Rico. December 31st, 1994, Manatí, Puerto Rico. I mean, came here when I was 8. Times over there were hard. It's still hard. Always drug infected. So my mom was the best thing to move over here with my family. So we moved over here. Started 3rd grade up in Cramp Elementary School. That's when I first saw football. That's when I first saw kids playing around. I was like tossing the ball and like I didn't know what to do. But when I felt the ball and I was running, I was hitting on concrete. Hitting on concrete is just awesome. And since 3rd grade, I've been playing football ever since. This is awesome feeling. I first put pads on when I was in middle school. And that was when I played for the Moss Eagles. And I started that year. My first year ever putting pads on, getting chills, man.
Melvin, such an impressive young man. You know, from last year to this year, like he was the same last year. You know, as a junior, like, you know, the passion, the fire he had, like the never give up attitude. You know, just the, you know, and Melvin, he came right from Puerto Rico. Like when he got here, he didn't know any English. Like he you know, so he's worked really hard. And if you spoke, you know, he speaks great now. He's a very intelligent young man with a very good head on his shoulders, and his future, you know. Melvin's one of my favorite players I've ever encountered, just because with the other players, he makes them work harder. You know, he really makes them, like, and you see it in his eyes. And when our practices were canceled for a week due to the physical problem we had, when he would come out, he came up here every day. Coach, do we have practice? Sorry, Mel, not today. Heartbreaking, you know, to see the look in his eyes, you know, just like, because you know how much this means to him. And with only like 3 games remaining in our season, this is it for Mel, playing football, you know, with pads on. You know, this is end game for Mel now, you know. So Melvin is just, he's a special young man, Melvin. And he's worked through a lot of adversity and a lot of injuries. And you know, he just that never give up attitude, though, you know. And you know, he has a special set of shoulder pads with like padding underneath him to help his shoulder out, you know, and some different exercises he can't do because of his shoulder. But you would never know that from watching him playing. You know, he gives it his all every single play, every play of practice, pushing everybody else.
The Tigers' second game of the season pitted them against George Washington High School, a team looking for retribution after last year's defeat.
Very good. You know, so we went into Washington last year and we took care of business. And that's what I tell the kids on the bus. What are we here to do? We're here to take care of business. And that's why we go on the bus. That's why we go on these road games. And until we get our home field, we're on business trips.
Offensively, the Tigers aired the ball out early and often, showcasing the physical gifts of number 11 quarterback Felix Rodriguez.
I want to be more of a pocket guy. I'd rather sit in the pocket and throw the ball more than I'll run. Because if you run a lot, most of the D-backs can try to hurt you. I'm not trying to get hurt. But I run if I have to. If I don't have to, I'll throw the ball. If I have to, I'll run. But I'd rather throw the ball than run. So I'd rather be a pocket passer.
The Tigers scored their first touchdown of the year when Rodriguez connected with his brother, number 16, Khalil Rogers.
I lined up and I said Tigers down, and I looked, and the receiver I actually threw it to was my brother Khalil. I looked and I seen the cornerback was smaller than him, so I called an audible, told him to do a double move. When I said go, he did a double move, and the cornerback bid for it, and he fell. And once I seen that he fell, I just threw the ball because the safety was over to the right. I was looking to the right the whole time. I seen he fell, and I threw it. I knew I had a touchdown. When I threw it, Khalil jumped over the cornerback. He caught the ball, and he scored for a touchdown. He ran for a touchdown.
I saw a cornerback fall down. But what I did see, I see our receiver run a great route, and Felix put up a heck of a pass. And you know, with his speed and getting under that ball, he caught it and ran in.
Khalil fits the bill as the Tigers' boisterous wide receiver. Even though the junior talks the talk, he walks the walk and brings his A game each time he steps onto the field.
My route was a quick slant, but the quarterback, he was audible to a deep pass. So I did a double move, I made him fall, then I had to jump over him because he fell. And then the quarterback Felix threw it up, and I caught it. And I was pointing at one of the defense, and it was a ran for a touchdown.
The two brothers found themselves in sync the entire game.
Like me and him, we got the connection. Like me and like Rafiq, Juan, all the other receivers, we got a connection too. It's just like, I don't know. I guess I got a better connection with Khalil than I do with all the other receivers, because I know him so well.
It was a quick slant, and it went off. I don't know his name. I think his name was Acer. It went off of his head, and then I saw the ball in the air. So I just went for the ball, and then got another catch.
And in a display of athleticism, Rodriguez recovered a high snap and made a play with his legs and arm.
When that happened, the first thing I was thinking about is be calm. Like, you can't freak out, because if I'd have flipped out and got nervous, then the whole play would have been broken down. But I just picked the ball up, and my receivers did a great job. They kept running the same route, and they noticed that I scrambled to the right, so he was running with me. And as I'm looking, I seen my feet cut across the field, and I was like, oh, I got a man. So I threw it at my feet, gained like 10, 15 yards, and he caught the ball, and then we got first down, and then we just started over again.
Of course, like the bad snap, like that's something we got to work on, like, you know, and fix that, because that shouldn't have happened. And but the offensive line did a terrific job giving Felix enough time not to get sacked and pick the ball up and give himself some time to roll out and to find Rafiq on the sideline. And Rafiq made a great catch. And it's when stuff like that, that's what a team does. You know, a team a team has a line, and they protect their quarterback, and it gives them time to make that pass and get us positive yards.
However, the quarterback's play was not flawless, throwing a pick six early in the game.
The linebacker, their defensive line, their linebacker, he blitzed in, and I guess our running back forgot the chip block, so we came in, and I started running, and as I went to throw it to Rafiq, he hit my arm, and when he hit my arm, the ball came off like on a kind of wrong angle, and he jumped the pass, and I could have made the play, but I got tackled. And by the time I got up, he was already like 5 yards away from me, so I wasn't catching him, and he already scored.
You know, that was very deflating, you know, but at that point we were driving the ball, we were moving the ball, and then that pick six happened, and I blame myself for that call. We were moving the ball up the middle on the run game, and I think I should have kept running the ball at that point, but I like to pass, you know. I like the air game, you know, and with a quarterback like Felix, who has a nice arm and has a very good head on the shoulders, it's something I would like to utilize more. And as a JV team moving forward, is something I want to work with, you know, passing game. But the running game, Dejan is a heck of a runner, you know, and giving him opportunities to run up the middle. I need to do a better job of giving him more opportunities to get up that hole and hit those holes. But that's also the offensive line providing those holes. You know, so there's work to be done.
Like, it's hard to forget about a pick six. It's hard to forget about. But I went into the huddle. I was telling my team, like, look, we got this. Like, that play is old. Let's work on what we're doing now. And we just kept moving the ball. And kept playing. I kind of did do that in the back of my mind. Like, I wasn't worried about it because it already happened. So it's not like I could take it back. So it happened. I was like, all right, that's over with. Let's move on and do what we gotta do now.
The defense, which is a point of pride for Kensington, took control early, shutting down Washington's first 2 drives, which because of a special teams miscue, were back-to-back.
You know, we opened the game up. We stopped them on a three and out. You know, they had a bad punt and went straight up in the air. It came down and hit one of our guys on the head. They got it back, you know, and they drove down the ball. You know, we stopped them again, you know, another muff punt. So it's practice, you know, it's getting out there and doing the fundamentals, you know, making sure, but it's having a young team.
Gritty play from linebackers number 52, Lorenzo Banks, and 42, Melwin Santiago, kept the Tigers in the game early.
It's a great feeling. I love it. That impact you get, and then like when you know it's a good hit, you get up like, yeah, I made that hit.
Cause I'm great with reading my offenses, so I would know what they're doing just by looking at the running back's eyes. And then once I just get through there and I see I can make the hit, once I feel that big hit, it just is like fireworks everywhere. It feels so good to hit hard. It really does. And then the celebration, that's just me letting my energy out, knowing that I'm doing a great job in my position, stopping everything that I need to do.
But physicality took its toll as injuries began to mount on the Tigers. Ultimately, mental lapses that frustrated the players led to 3 touchdowns by Washington, as Kensington lost 22-8.
Well, I was just getting upset over it. Like, I'm just letting people get behind me when I'm not supposed to do that, and like I'm letting people get into my head and take me out my zone. So I just gotta work on that.
Due to the current state of the Kensington field, the Tigers play all of their games on the road. Despite this inconvenience and disadvantage, most players use that as motivation to elevate their game to new levels and overcome the adversity of playing away. After all, overcoming adversity is the Kensington Tiger way.
Taking to other people's field, it's no different. We go there to handle business and to kick some ass. And that's what we go there. We do our best. to handle our business and win.
It doesn't really change like the momentum. I mean, I would prefer some home games because it feels better to hear the crowd chanting your jersey number or your team. But it just like it feels kind of the same. It actually feels better for me because I get to come in your home and just take over your field and then leave. Most time with a W, so I just feel really good.
I don't care what nobody say. Like they can say we corny or whatever, but we're a bomb squad. Like we're a family for real. We're here. We're Rise of the Tigers. Like here, like we're basically just to blow other teams out the water.
Damn right, pouring, feeling like it was storming. Cold nights, long days, none of these hoes was calling. Got a little bit of buzz and we're no longer foreign. If you hate, do you like James? I'm still scoring. Now they hit me up, oh yeah, you rapping now. But here's some beats from my SoundCloud. But me, I'm just adding to my craft. Trying to give advice like crack it is whack. Keep your prints off a strap. Keep your eye on everyone, cause your back they will stab. Don't ever wipe that chick with